Starting and live.
And we are live with Every Voice Paranormal Stories with Brian's Paranormal and Ghost Mafia. What's going on, everybody?
Tonight we got a special guest on for everybody. We got Paranormal Mama on the panel.
Hi, everybody.
They're not going to answer you.
Of course not. Of course not. But I like to always say hi to everybody anyway.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I got quite a few stories I can tell y'all.
Oh yeah.
I've got quite a few. A lot of them come from my sister because I don't know why. You know, it's funny. We should be in a paranormal team together, me and my sister, because I tell you, she attracts more spirits than anybody I've ever seen. She's just she's very much, she gets a lot of activity around herself. She's had many experiences. She used to live in an old house up on the, I guess, west side of Cincinnati, and it was built like in the 1800s, and she had two ghosts, two spirits, one of a little boy. He was not really a little boy, though. She come to find out he was actually a pretty demonic spirit.
Yeah.
That she didn't realize what he was until one night she saw him sitting in front of the fireplace, and their fireplace is actually in their bedroom. And saw him sitting in front of the fireplace, and whenever he turned, he had like jagged, sharp teeth and like red eyes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm sure that was a pretty scary event for her, not knowing, you know, that her house, and she had no idea it was haunted when she moved, obviously. And she also had an older woman upstairs in the kids' room.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, you know, I've always been a skeptic. You know, I stay a skeptic pretty much. I don't believe everything right off, but she has actually photographed evidence of this woman in her upstairs window. And it was taken on a Polaroid. And the Polaroid was like, I mean, you could clearly see a white, cloudy figure of a woman, and it was an older woman with like her hair up in a bun, right in the window. And it was, wow. I was dumbfounded. I was like, yeah, that's definitely something's going on there. That's not, you know, you could tell the picture wasn't faked or staged or anything like that. That was a Polaroid she took. So, wasn't any way for her to digitally enhance it or anything else like that. So, but this woman would, actually was more of a nurturing spirit, the woman was.
Yeah.
And she would come and then check on her kids when they were in bed. So, but she never really harmed them, but they were like scared of it, of course, because it was something unknown to them.
Oh yeah.
So, but that's just one of many I can tell y'all. I'm sure you guys have some other stories of your own too to tell. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we always have stories. A lot of people like to ask us questions about things that we've experienced and things like that. And then that usually leads into a story somewhere. So. But who all we got in the chat tonight?
My little sister's in here.
Oh, yeah?
Brianna's World.
Your actual little sister?
Yeah.
Really?
Brianna's Weird Channel is my sister.
Huh.
Very cool.
It is, I think, yeah.
Here, Lunatic Dad's in the house.
Oh,
Hello.
yeah.
Put them on this one for us, okay, Mom?
We got quite a few people in here.
Farm Boy 45 is in the house. Miss Green Thumb.
Yeah.
HSFL Paranormal.
Dad, that I sent the invite.
There we go. This looks a lot more creepy.
Beautiful baby. I'm stuck. Beautiful babe is stuck, she said.
I put on the one where the bad guys are. Where they.
Miss Green Thumb says, hello, Brian.
Hey, Miss Green Thumb. Hey, beautiful babe.
And I just finished putting the notice over on my page for everybody to come over here from there. So that notification should have just went out too. And I put the link in the card and in the description. So it doesn't matter if they click on the description or right from the video itself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I know there's a lot of times when descriptions and that are getting messed up anymore too.
Well, with the internet issues that I've been having, I mean it was only a 40-second clip, and it still took me 45 minutes to get it uploaded and edited and everything. With my internet.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll get those fixed this week.
Oh yeah.
With all the storms just been coming through, I guess they've been working on a lot of down lines and a lot of stretch cable and things like that, and they just ain't got to us yet. I don't know.
Yeah. Like apparently we've got a big storm coming here.
Do you?
Yeah, damaging winds and a bunch of other stuff.
I like extreme weather. I'll tell you what, extreme weather can spike up paranormal activity too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Miss Green Thumb, Amy who? How is it going at Breaking the Shell?
Oh, Tim's in here?
Yeah, Tim's in here.
Yeah, he is. Breaking the Shell. Shell, yeah. What's going on, Tim? That'd be somebody to bring up on here one day. I know he's got some stories.
Oh yeah, I know.
I'd love it. Hey, Tim, would you be interested in coming up on the being a guest host next week? Love to have you on the show.
Oh yeah, we'd love to, man.
Dutch is in the house.
Hey, Dutchy Dutch. I'm good, Brianna. We're just doing a show for everybody, and this is our Thursday panel. Andre Pitts is here as well.
See, look at it. That's my weather app. It just doesn't want to load from my phone. That's how slow the internet is working right now. It's like literally, I'm so frustrated. I just want to throw my phone against the wall, but I don't want to break a $800 phone.
Yeah, I got to get something like that. See, our weather network is just like alerts and stuff like that. It doesn't show like that.
I use that. It's called My Weather or My Radar, and it has the weather alerts on it for, it'll tell me that rain will be starting in 10 minutes.
Oh,
right?
wow.
And how heavy it's going to be and all that. It's a pretty neat app, actually.
Yeah.
I actually like it. And you can turn on, it has photos of, it has link photos that pop up for the storm chasers.
Oh,
on
that's
the
cool.
actual screen, and you can touch on it, and it'll take you to another page where it'll load like the storm chasers video, and you can see live footage from the storm chasers.
Oh, nice.
So it's a neat little app.
Yeah, speaking of storm chasers, last summer when we were living in Woodstock, we seen like 5 storm chaser vehicles going around because a tornado ended up landing in Woodstock. It was crazy.
I was looking to see if Tim chatted back to us.
Yeah. Hey, Stoney.
Okay, yeah, that'd be awesome, Tim. If we could get you up here next week to be a guest host, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
We try to have a couple of different guest hosts each week. So
yeah.
This week we got Paranormal Mama, and her camera's off, so nobody gets to see her. She's just kind of hiding behind the.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in like a creepy way now.
Ooh. You got the creepy light on.
By the light of my computer screen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got plenty of stories I can tell you guys, probably keep you up all night, honestly. I've got a lot of them. But, yeah, another one was when my sister was staying at my aunt's house, and she had a house that was fairly old then too, and for some reason she felt like she should sleep in her sleeping bag at the bottom of the staircase, and it's almost like she knew like something was going to happen there or something, because when she was in her sleeping bag and everything, she unzipped it in the middle of the night. She woke up, she looks up at the top of the staircase, and there's this lady in period style dress with a lantern coming down the steps. I mean, my sister is like very, I don't know, she's like a magnet or something for these spirits, because all the stuff that she's had, I mean, I've had some experiences, but nothing like what she's had. She's had so many you can't even count.
Oh, wow.
I mean, she's really sensitive to them. But and I know, like, and I think some of the reason she's sensitive to them is my sister, when she was younger, she used to play with a Ouija board.
Yeah.
And I think that has a lot to do with her connections to them. As far as that goes, I'm not an advocate of using a Ouija board. I advise people against it,
Right.
because you can let things in that are not meant to be messed around with. And I just believe, that's what I believe. And
it was the same way. It's like they were drawn to her.
Exactly. And I'll say it right out. I'm a Christian, but I'm not like a Bible beaten over the head Christian. You understand what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I believe that, messing with anything like that, that's considered witchcraft, and you won't see me using it in any of my investigations. I just don't do Ouija boards.
Oh, yeah. I don't either. I will not touch one.
Yeah. And she's had a lot of a lot of bad things in her life happen to her since she used that Ouija board. So
Yeah.
I am really and I won't go into detail because it's personal matters, but that's why I became a big advocate for not using the Ouija board.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe.
Tell us a little bit about your channel. What kind of things do you do over on your channel? I mean, I've been I've been in your chats and things like that, but for the audience, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Sure. I do EVPs. I usually use what is called the Ghost Speak app, and it's kind of like an Ovilus. That's usually mostly what I use right now. I use a digital recorder to get EVPs. But I tell you what, as of lately, the best EVPs I've gotten is actually through my phone's camera. Believe it or not, I've gotten like some good responses not from a digital recorder, but actually from the camera and my phone recording spirits' voices on the phone. And one of them I was telling Brian about not too long ago here. I did an investigation in a cemetery, and I actually caught a little girl's voice, and it was actually repeating me like a girl of that age would repeat after an adult. The same words I was saying, she was repeating back.
Oh, wow.
And that was very awesome. Now, when you go to listen to it, you got to have your headphones way, way up.
Yeah.
Because it's very, very faint, but it's there. You could hear it. It was like I was saying, I'm here to be respectful of any and all spirits, and you could hear a little girl's voice in the background. I'm to be respectful of any and all spirits, just like a 3-year-old girl would do. And
wow.
it was really, I was like, wow, that's the best evidence I've had since I've started this. But as far as EVPs are concerned, I also had a catch beside my shed, which a lot of people think it was a person standing there. But if you look at the video, you can tell that in between my shed and the fence, and we have like a lot of junk in between the shed and the fence, so it's kind of hard for a person to get back in there.
Right.
And I have evidence of that on a security cam that I have in my backyard. And that was nighttime footage, and you can tell because it's like a glowing figure. It stands out pretty well, but it's more like a white glowing figure, and you can tell it's the figure it has a head and shoulders and arms, and you can see it's moving around. So I honestly believe it was an angel, because we had a big problem with our neighbors at the time, and we had prayed about the situation, and I believe it was an angel protecting our property.
No, I've had a lot of activity on the property here as of recently, but it seems like it's more elemental kind of activity, and I'm thinking it's probably due to, in like 30 days they're going to be breaking ground on this property to put the pipeline through it. So yeah, it's definitely ramping up, and I think as it gets closer to the time that they actually break ground, I think I'm going to get a lot more activity. So I'm working on some cameras and things for outdoors, and a couple of different things, so I can try to catch some stuff out there.
That'd be awesome.
But one of the things I'm doing right now is I've got like 3 of these Kinects, and you know what you can do with a Kinect, right?
Oh yeah.
You ever seen the digital mapping where it'll pick up and map like a stick figure where paranormal activity is manifesting?
Yep, I've seen one of those.
Yeah,
I saw lots of investigators use those.
With these Kinects, so I'm ordering the adapter cable to be able to hook it up to the computer, and downloaded the software, and I'm gonna experiment with that. I know Lou Rock has experience with that. He's done it a few times on his, and he's gotten some really nice results. So I might have to talk to him and have him kind of walk me through getting it all set up when the cables come in. But yeah, I definitely want to see what I catch out there in the yard.
Hey, Alex Fisher. Yeah,
hey, Alex.
It'd be awesome, Ghost, to see what you could catch. So,
well, I mean, I had my regular video cameras outside, and the one night I was sitting here, and in fact, I don't remember if I was on a panel or on a group call with a couple other people, but I'm sitting there and I watched. It almost looked like a tree. Okay, it was tall. It was probably 9 feet tall, but it just looked like a tree with branches for arms and legs, walking or running across the yard. And I seen it on the video cameras. And when I tried to rewind it, the cameras didn't record it or something. It didn't show up when I played it back. So I don't know. It was really strange.
It's like it didn't want to be seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I had Slender Man running through my backyard, and the cameras didn't pick him up. I mean, I seen it on the live feed, but the recording didn't pick it up. If that makes any sense. It was weird. It was strange. And I had said something about it when I seen it. I was like, wait, what the hell is that? And, and I'm on a live feed with somebody at the time. So they seen my response. They seen my actual reaction to it in my face and everything. And I was like, and I started rewinding the cameras, and I couldn't find it on there anywhere. I was like, wow, that was weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like there is a road out back of my property. So like, and there's a big tree out there.
Yeah.
But if it were a shadow of a tree, it would have uniformly went right across when the car come through. There was no car come through on the cameras. There was no light source or anything like that. And there was no light
Okay.
This was like a shadow in a shadow running across. You know what I mean? There was no light to it to cast shadow from the big tree, from the big walnut tree or anything like that.
Wow. That's crazy.
It was a little weird, but... And then here lately, we've had an outbreak of raccoons on the property.
Oh.
Oh,
Those
wow.
are always,
Now my son's out
those
there with
are always
a
trouble.
live trap trying to catch the raccoon that keeps getting into the garbage and stringing it out all over the yard. And yeah.
Yeah,
So.
what my husband used to do, he used to put bungee cords over the top of the garbage can to keep them out. Then
Well,
they started figuring out how to get the bungee cords off. So
Yeah.
had to try something else.
We got a big burn pit out in our yard that we put all the trash in the burn pit, and then when there's enough there worth burning, then we'll have a big bonfire with it. And
oh yeah,
it keeps the red tail. We got a pair of red tail hawks out here on the property that have been here for like the last 8 years that I've been here, and it keeps them fed because there's rats out there. There are barn rats out there, and the barn rats will go over to that big hole and go to get in that garbage, and them red-tailed hawks come down in there, just grab them up and fly off with them.
Oh yeah.
Keeps the red-tailed hawks fed.
Yeah, like that red-tailed hawk you showed me, Ghost, that was a nice one. He was nice and big.
That's the pet. We've actually had him fly down in the yard. We had a swimming pool out here, one of them above-ground swimming pools. The kids were in the swimming pool. It flew down and landed on the side of the pool with the kids in the pool.
Oh wow.
It's not scared of human interaction. It'll let you. When I took that picture that I showed you, I was probably less than 5 feet away from that bird.
Oh yeah.
And I was close. I've never seen one let anybody get that close to it before.
Yeah. That is crazy, man. Like I've never
Alex
seen.
says raccoons are creepy with their little human-like hands.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We call them trash pandas.
Hey, good old boy in here. How's it going?
Good old boy. What's happening?
Yeah, so Paranormal Mama, before all this started happening, did you like sense anything in the home that was uneasy, that was starting to go on?
Well, I have always had my dad passed away in 2009. I've always had his presence around me ever since he died. I can feel him around me constantly. I know he's there, you know. I don't know how to explain it. I just know he's there. A lot of people have this sense, I guess a lot of people call it being an empath, that they can sense things around them.
Yeah.
I can pretty much sense if there's going to be a spirit around me. I get tingles. That's the only way I can explain it.
So basically what you get, Paranormal Mama, is the cold feeling with the goosebumps and the whole
shebang. Down your spine.
Yeah.
Hair standing up on the back of your neck or on your arms.
Oh yeah, yeah. And you know, I've actually felt things sit on my bed here at home. So I know there's things here at the house. I know they're not harmful to me or my family, but I know there's things here. I know like I had an incident where my bed went down and you could considerably feel it go down on one of the corners of the bed where I lay at, and like you could feel it actually depressed on the bed, so you knew there was something there. It was kind of like you couldn't deny somebody was sitting on the end of the bed.
Yeah.
You know? And then I've had things where I've actually had premonitions. I had a premonition. My husband had a bad accident at work. And before he had that accident, I had a premonition that he was going to have an accident at work. I was actually trying to get him to get another job before the accident happened, if that makes any sense. So I have premonitions too.
What kind of field does your husband work in?
He works in maintenance.
Okay.
Yeah, and he was doing some groundskeeping work, and a lawnmower rolled over on him. So
Good.
yeah, and I had a sixth sense about that.
I had a
And
friend who was telling me something like that, but their husband's a coal miner, and that's, you know, being a mile underground. That's you
uh-huh.
definitely take those kind of things to heart when they're in that kind of dangerous, you know, line of work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely do. But yeah, it's funny because I knew the day of, I knew something wasn't wasn't right with that day, the day it happened. I mean, I got up, I had a sense that something was going to go wrong today.
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't know what it was exactly, but I had a feeling that, hey, something's going to happen. You know?
Yeah. You can always feel it too.
Yeah.
You get the
And
uneasy feeling in your gut, and
yeah. Oh yeah. And it's funny because a lot of people don't put paranormal and God in the same sentence, but I do, because I believe it's the spirit of discernment somewhat, that I can feel things and that I have premonitions, and that I know that spirits are around me. I think it's like the spirit of discernment, which the Bible talks about. And a lot of people say, well, that's, in the religious circles, they don't accept that. They think it's a bunch of hogwash or whatever, but I believe in it. I believe in the spirits, and I know I believe in both angels and demons,
yep.
you know. Um, I know for a fact the angels were watching over my husband. So, and I also know for a fact that there's demons out there that try to destroy us and try and make us weak and
Yeah.
vulnerable, you know.
Yeah.
Um, it really is. We're living in a day and age. It is a spiritual warfare out there, and there's a lot going on. And
Yeah.
you know, it, I'm just saying, if you don't know God, try and get to know God, because uh, you need Him in your life. Um, you know, my like my sister, she was into the Ouija and the Wicca, and she was doing a lot of I guess she was getting more into like the dark arts, and her road on her life. It's a journey I don't think anybody would want to have. She actually lost a child,
Yeah.
a baby. Um, and I think it was due to her messing with things that weren't meant to be messed with, you know. Um, but I think that if you don't believe in God, just believe in something. It's better than believing in nothing. You know, I'm not trying to switch anybody or change their mind about religion or anything in any way, but I just know this is what my personal beliefs are, and I believe
Yeah.
you need to get in touch and get a closer understanding of who God is. And the only way you can do that is like, reading your Bible, spending time in prayer, uh, just getting to know God, Anybody can do that of any faith, you know. Just get closer to your God, Whatever
Yeah.
that God may be, just get closer to God, you know.
People are talking about the raging battle between the lunatic dad and Uber Goober lady.
Yep.
You
They
know,
are.
look, I know this about paranormal and everybody's stories, but man, that was epic. I gotta say that was epic, and it could not be contained in one stream. There's got to be a part two.
Oh yeah. There's gonna be. She's gonna come out at full force, and there's gonna be another video on it.
Yeah,
Th-
I
They're.
love Uber Goober lady.
Oh
Uber
yeah.
Goober is awesome. So is Lunatic Dad.
I guess I'm out of the loop. I know nothing about that.
Oh, we do a show on Tuesday nights called Takeover Tuesday over on JoJo Walker's Unplugged, and like the first half of the show. Well, actually, last week it was like the whole show was a roast between Uber Goober Lady and Lunatic Dad, and I mean it was, oh my God, they got down and dirty. The gloves came off. They was rolling around in the dirt. You know.
All in good fun, of course.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I just couldn't believe it though. Like Uber Goober Lady went right at Lunatic Dad just as much as he did her.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I told you, we got those two together. One was going to be just as down and dirty and raunchy as the other. It was going to be good. I seen what she's done to Carlos, and I knew it was going to be something. I never imagined it would turn into what it has. So, you know.
Oh yeah.
It's all in fun. It's all in entertainment, but you know there's got to be a part 2.
Oh yeah, there's going to be.
But anyway, speaking of Lunatic Dad, how's our other guest coming along, Brian? Any word?
I haven't got a word yet, but she said shortly.
Okay, so she'll probably pop in around halfway through.
They're coming.
Oh, looks like she might be popping in sooner than later.
Yeah.
Lunatic Dad just sent the email address, so that's always a good thing.
Oh yeah.
Let's see what we got in the chat. What does he say? Alex Fisher, JoJo Walker, Francis Spirits and Kitties, Luis Angel.
What did she say?
I'll get that.
I'm getting a call. Oh, no, they hung up. I was going to say, I'm getting a call from Lunatic Dad.
Don't worry about it. I'm dealing with it.
Francis says, hi, Ghost. Life with Vern and Jerry. Hello, everybody. Hey, Vern and Jerry.
Okay, like, I'm just going to remove Beautiful Babe because this is becoming a problem.
No, what's going on?
There's been this whole thing going on in the chat, and it's crazy.
I've seen it. I just didn't want to draw attention to it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Hi. You don't want to respect the chat.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
So where is the scariest place that you've ever went and done an investigation at, Paranormal Mama?
Yeah.
Where's the scariest place?
Yeah, the absolutely scariest. Like, you didn't even want to go in. It was so eerie.
You guys y'all ever been around Bobby Mackey's?
Nope.
I've heard of it. It's not too far away from me. It's about 4 hours from here.
Yeah. That's a scary place. I actually am scared to drive past that a lot of times. Because,
is that where you're at? Is over in that area, Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Border?
Yes. And I'm scared to drive past it a lot of times because I actually have an aunt who had an experience. She actually, her car broke down right in front of Bobby Mackey's.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And she smelled the rose perfume that you hear about, from the ghost that haunts Jolene, I think is her name.
Yeah.
Yeah, she actually smelled the rose perfume. So it was like the spirit was protecting her, like the good spirit was protecting her from all the bad ones that are definitely there.
Yeah.
From getting hurt while her car was disabled, obviously, because she did have a kid in the back seat with her, too, at the time. And after she smelled that rose smell, her car started back up and she could go back on her way, which I thought was an amazing story. I was like, wow. That's just you know, that was crazy. But yeah, that's one place that, yeah, I'm kind of even afraid to step foot in, but
Yeah.
I've told other people that, like, if they would go with me, I'd go. But I
Oh,
would
yeah.
never go by myself.
Hey, Kelly Skaggs.
Kelly
And,
Skaggs. I know, Francis, I wasn't ignoring you. I said hi.
and Hazel.
Was Hazel in there? I didn't see Hazel. Hazel's Reptiles or?
I have no idea.
Oh. Hazel, what's up? I don't see Hazel.
I don't either.
Hmm.
No, Farm Boy, this is actually paranormal. It's not just like a chill out type thing.
Do you have any ghost stories you'd like to share, Farm Boy? I mean, we could, if you got something to share.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he could tell. He
you
could
might
tell
have
you about.
something.
He could tell you about a ghostly balloon.
Yeah. Drawing a face on it. Hey, Shot Girl.
Shot Girl's in here.
Yeah.
Hey, Skaggs. Kelly.
But yeah. Farm Boy's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I've been on panel with Farm Boy a few times now.
Oh yeah, he's pretty good on panels.
Mhm. Yeah.
He said, "Yes, I do." Well, I'll tell you what, Farm Boy, shoot us your email address, and we'll bring you up. You can share your story.
Hey, Night Shame, how are you? Andre Pitts is acting really weird. That's the third time he's asked Kelly if she has kids.
Mm.
I'm doing great, Brian. How are you, man? Night Shame, we're actually doing great.
What's going on, brother?
We are doing every ghost.
No, every voice.
Every voice. Paranormal stories.
There you go. Now you got it.
Yeah. I just have a brain fart. I haven't really slept yet, so.
For some of you, and I know we didn't go over this at the beginning, is this is a new show that me and Brian started up a few weeks back, where we usually have like two guest hosts come on, and then we'll bring up two people up out of the chat through the course of the night to share their paranormal stories or experiences. And if they need help with it or whatnot, they can ask questions. Maybe we can give some advice, help them out, or, whatnot.
Yep.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be paranormal. It could be, UFO related or, cryptozoology. Maybe you had a run in with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear about it, That'd be cool.
Slender Man. Whatever.
Yeah.
Slender Man, Mothman, Jersey Devil, whatever the case might be, something like that.
Yeah.
Farm Boy just put his email up there. If you can grab that while it's still hidden and bring him up. He wants to share a story.
That's okay.
Oh, it's not okay.
I will do that right now.
Hey, do me a favor.
Okay,
Go to your window.
You got the computer.
Yeah.
No, at the bottom. There's a second window open. Go there. Go up to the top. You see that person? Give me that link.
Did you get it, Brian? Because he retracted it already. Okay. All right. Just want to make sure you got it before he retracted it.
The invitation is posted.
Cool. Lady Swan's in the house.
Hey, Lady Swan. How is it going? Oh, speaking of which, that's your Lady Swan, right, Ghost?
Yep.
Um, I have to do something here.
Have to do something.
Yeah.
There's Farm Boy. Welcome to the panel, Farm Boy.
Hey, Farm Boy, how's it going?
Pretty good. Right now I've been going through a lot. I got a friend that's got liver cancer, and they give him only till December to live. So I'm dealing with that, you know. But yeah, I gotta do a real doozy one for you guys. Long time ago, when I was a kid, I used to live upstate New York. I had me, my brother, my mom, and my dad when he was alive. One night, one night, the attic door starts opening up by itself, and then all the doors in the house was slamming by themselves. So I don't know if it was a ghost or was something evil or um, my grandfather died before all that happened. So there was a lot of talks around the house saying that um, my grandfather was probably haunting our house.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went down in the. There was a lot of noise in the basement too. My mother woke my dad up. Said, "Hey, you gotta go down in the basement. There's a lot of ruckus going on." My father went down there. There was nothing going on. Uh, then when he came upstairs, he came up from the kitchen, and all the kitchen doors opened up by themselves, and they was throwing stuff at him. He was running big time, scared shitless.
That doesn't sound like a family member.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but we was scared shitless. I tell you, it was like I think you like call it like poltergeist or something like that.
That sounds like poltergeist activity to me.
And
Yeah.
we went, and my mother woke up one night, said to my dad, said, "Hey, there's something scratching at the walls. I think we got mouse." And my father looked, and you know there wasn't nothing running around or scratching at the walls or anything like that. She was going crazy. Oh, you're going crazy. Just shut up, go back to sleep, and all that. You know how a typical man is. You know they don't want to deal with anything bad and negativity. You know, and
yeah,
it was crazy. I mean, now as I think about it, you know, I think it was a demonic spirit, and it was tormenting my family and all that, and they did something wrong or something like that. I don't know if it was demonic or anything, but there was. And when I was living on my own, this is a long time ago. When I was living on my own, I had bad experience with. I hear growls when I was living by myself. I never
Now-
said this to my
Now,
wife.
with your parents' house, Farm Boy, with your parents, did they do anything to get rid of it, or they just dealt with it, or?
My mother brought in our Catholic priest and did a blessing on the house. But I think it made it more angrier or something like that, because after that things was acting up. The bed started shaking, and the closet doors was opening by itself, and there was I heard well, I was watching TV, me and my brother, and we was watching TV, and all of a sudden we heard a yell, like somebody was yelling in the closet, saying "help." My brother said, "Did you hear that?" I said, "No." He said, "Yeah, I heard something." We opened the door, and it shut by itself. So I don't
wow.
know what the hell. And I got scared. I ran. My mother said, "What are you running for?" He opened the door and then it shut by itself. Oh, it's all in your brain. You're all in your head. My mom goes. So one night, I had to go to the bathroom, and the faucet in the bathroom turned on by itself. The bathtub faucet, all by itself when I was in the bathroom, and I just was gonna get up, and the door shut right on me. I was like locked into the bathroom, and we didn't have no locks in the bathroom at all. And it just slammed, and it wouldn't let me out. I kept banging on the door, let me out, let me out, let me out. And my mother said, my father came, and he said, what the hell's going on? You need to get back in bed. You got school in the morning. I said, no, I couldn't get out of the bathroom. He said, what the hell are you talking about? I said, yeah, the door shut by itself, and it wouldn't let me out. So that's why I've been kind of scared about ghosts and stuff like that. But stupid me, I watch all these ghost movies and like Omar and the fan there, and I psych myself up. So I mean, it was hilarious. I mean, it wasn't hilarious back then, but it was hilarious now.
So, Farm Boy, how long have you been getting these things going on in the house?
It was in the I think it was like around in the 1990s, and it was going on since 1999. So
long time.
Yeah. And when we all moved out of that apartment, I mean the house, because it was a ranch house, and my dad's truck, God's honest truth, he was getting ready to go to work, and all of a sudden he heard a truck start up by itself, and the keys was gone. Now the keys wasn't in there, and anything like that. He went in there. No, I'm not. I'm serious. The truck started up by itself, and my dad didn't have the keys in there. He put the keys back in, and turned it right back off again. So,
oh wow.
Yeah, my wife said, "Oh, you telling fibs?" I'm not telling. I ain't telling stories. Okay, I'm telling stories. You wasn't there when I was there.
Well, she's right. They are stories,
No, well, you got to be there to see it.
Yeah, with your own eyes.
I don't mean story. I mean, we're telling ghost stories here, so yeah, that's the story.
Oh yes.
And my sister, when she was living with us, she got pushed down the stairs. Literally pushed down the stairs. She came up the stairs, said, "Dad, I got pushed." And he goes, "What are you talking about?" "Yeah, I got pushed." And we've been having dogs, cats, and they all been dying on us. Yeah. One got hit, and one just ran off and just froze up and died by itself.
Wow.
So I don't know what was the story behind that. And yeah, it was a crazy. One day, me and two brothers that lived right next door to us, we all went camping, behind my backyard there.
Yeah.
And we heard this god awful cackle, like how in the Blair Witch Project, how you can hear weird noises in the nighttime. Yeah. It was like that, but it was different. And we had like a big open field in the back where it was all trees and bushes and all that. When we heard rustling in the bushes there, so my friend took his light, flashlight, and went and tried to look for what was going on. Couldn't see nothing. We had a pig barn there because we kept pigs, and there was a lot of noises going in there at night, and every time you look in, see with a flashlight. There wasn't no pigs in there, Mike, because my dad raised pigs and we slaughter pigs for our meat and everything like that.
I gave that up about 2 years ago. We sent Ford to the butcher, and it cost almost $5,000. And I'm thinking, in the year it took to raise all these poor pigs, and all the feed, and the price of the pigs, and the price of the butcher, I went out and spent like $9,000 in bacon and been just as happy.
Well, see, a long time ago, it was I started living on my own, and I've been hearing when I was living on my own one time. I had my own apartment. And I was a big alcoholic back then, but I wasn't drinking then. Yeah. I swore to God, I thought I heard growls underneath my bed. Growls, like really loud growls, and it scared the shit right out of me. And I looked under the bed, and I didn't see nothing. I didn't say anything to anybody about that because I kept it to myself because I didn't want anybody to think I was crazy or anything like that. So I had a cross. I put a nail cross up onto the wall because I thought that would probably, get rid of it. And my cross went upside down and started spinning around by itself. And it fell right off the wall by itself. So I got scared and I ran out of the apartment for a while there. And I went back and I put it back up on there. And that was it for that one night. And the second night, I had a friend came over. We was hanging out and stuff like that. And we was just listening to music. And all of a sudden, the TV came popping back on and off. 7 times. Non-stop. He said, "What's wrong with your TV? You need to go to the repair shop." I said, "That's a brand new TV. What the hell are you talking about?" Well, it's popping up 7 times. I didn't touch it. I didn't have the remote. The remote was right next to the guy. He said, "Yeah, your TV, something's wrong with your TV." I said, "Nope. And I told him, I said, "I've been having a lot of problems here." He goes, "Yeah, well, you didn't know about this. I guess there was a guy that killed himself in that apartment."
Mama, Brian, Ghost Mafia, and Farm Boy.
Was it one of the rooms that you had a problem with then? Like the room that he would have committed suicide in? Or?
I had a kitchen on one side, and I had the living room right next to the kitchen, right next to it. And my bedroom was on the other side. And I was just one night I was cooking supper and I heard 3 bangs. Does that mean
yeah, I know, but you're
I heard about that where you hear 3 bangs, that's a demonic spirit or something like that. I wouldn't be listening to this. You don't have nightmare. Go in there. My kid's sitting there listening to what I'm saying, so she's going to be scared crapless, and you're going to go to bed.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
hey, I'm a ghost and Irish whiskey. How are you? Go ahead.
I know, but right now we're talking.
So that's mostly about my ghost stories I had back then.
Oh yeah.
Because you're already in
there's a lot of stuff that is going on between like Ghost and myself and JoJo and Lady Swan and a bunch of different people, and this is basically what we've done is every voice paranormal stories we can allow people up on the panel to say whatever they've went through with the paranormal, and we can kind of sort out like questions and see what's best and give advice in that.
Yeah, I was attempting to bring in a priest to try to exercise what was going on in my apartment, but I didn't know anybody that would do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially
Hey, you know what, guys? Irish Whiskey, you should get him up here. I'm sure he'd have a
You'll
story
have
or
to
two he
hit
could
this
tell
call
you.
right now. Then click
He's
that.
got some really good videos on about paranormal and
That's a good idea.
That is. Irish Risky, you want him to come up, buddy? Because we did ask him a couple Thursdays ago, too.
I'm still working on trying to get lunatic mama up here. Like trying to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, but when I send the message,
I am as well.
Yeah, talking about that balloon incident, it happened. No lie. And Paranormal's making a joke about it all the time when I'm telling her what's going on. And I told her, I said,
She told us a little bit about it, but I'm interested in this whole balloon thing because I've actually seen videos where like people had balloons and they were talking to the balloon and it floated across the room and answered the question.
Well,
and things like that. So.
We had this Mickey Mouse balloon. It was all filled up with air.
Yeah.
And we had it in my bedroom one night. And then all of a sudden it like came down and then it started walking out my door into the kitchen, into my daughter's room. And then it came back out of my daughter's room, and then it come floating right out in the kitchen again, and it bounced up just a little bit, and then it went down underneath this. Here, I'll show you my archway here. See that archway? There's no way.
Hey, you got your camera off.
You got your camera off, farm boy.
I got my camera off.
Now you got it back on. No, you got it off now.
Huh?
It keeps going in and out between your icon and your video.
Can you see me now?
Now we can see you.
I just got a black screen.
Now he went back to your icon.
What the hell?
Well, I think
Google
has been working on something because a lot of people has been experiencing lag and audio corruption on their streams. And
so anyway, you know what? It's and went right underneath the archway here into the living room. And then it went into the bathroom. And then it went back in my son's room. And then how fast I got up, I got that balloon and I popped that damn thing. I said, nope, you're not going to do nothing in this house.
And I'll tell you guys why I laughed, because while this was all happening, he was telling me
by myself.
He was telling me that I was the reason why the balloon was moving around this place. I'm like, no.
Yes.
Like, you got something else going on. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been over there like,
no,
farm boy, don't stab me. No.
No,
what are you gonna do with my knife, farm boy?
I was by myself when this thing happened, and I'll tell you what, I didn't sleep at all that one night. I was scared shitless.
Yeah. And then he gets up the next morning, and I'm telling him ghost stories.
Yeah,
she's
like, the one that's got me all worked up. Talk about
then he
scary.
lost sleep the next night.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to sleep in the goddamn toilet. That crazy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen, I don't know, there's a lot of these, this YouTube videos out there about demonic spirits and ghost stories and all that. Some of it, I believe it in a way, but there's a lot of it, they're like screens play it, you know what I mean? Like they did do stuff, you know, like.
I mean, if it's fake, you can usually tell a fake.
Mm-hmm. There's a video, or was it? It was a video where this guy left a camera in his kitchen, and all hell's breaking loose in his house. His all of his stuff coming out of his drawers and knife floating in the air, hitting into the walls, and and all that good stuff. And I said, holy hell, I'll be moving the hell out of there quick and fast.
Yeah, Farm Boy. Go ahead, Ghost.
I said, and in a hurry.
Yeah. You're talking about the one where he's filming on his table, right? And watching everything?
Yep.
That's poltergeist activity.
Yeah, it was kind of freaky in a way, but there's other ones there. Like, Fam, he actually caught a ghost on his video thing.
Who's that?
He actually caught a full body figure. He was walking through this old hospital. I think it was a hospital.
He's abandoned hospital.
And the thing stopped right there, looked at him, and darted off on the other side. And that I believe in that because it wasn't nobody there but him.
Yeah.
So I seen that. I was like, oh, my eyeballs like saucer size. So whoa! If I was there, I'd be screaming like a woman.
Well, what stream was that on? You saw that? What video?
It was on the Fam there. He was. I don't know what.
James the Fam.
Yeah, James the Fam. I believe it was with the 3 a.m. challenge one.
Yeah.
Went wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. And he's been getting stuff thrown at him and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And he ran right back into this one room to shut the door, and you see a thing. I don't know what the hell it was. It was like, wow. Yeah, I like double taked it because I rewinded just to make sure I was looking at it right.
Yeah.
And I seen it. It came right out of the wall, and it was standing there, and it went real fast. And then it went, shoom, it was gone. It was gone.
You know, it's funny because there's people out there that don't have nothing to do with the paranormal side of things, and they wind up catching things every day on film that's just, you don't see every day.
Mm-hmm. That Zach Bagan there, he went to that Bobby, because I heard you talk about Bobby Mackey there, Paranormal. He went there trying to film, see if he could catch anything on there. And I guess one of them got possessed, I think.
No, Zach Bagans actually got scratched when he went in there.
There was another one where one of his camera guy got possessed, and he's like, he didn't even know what day or what time it was and anything like that. He's like spaced right out, like for a while.
Did you guys see where Taps went in there after Zach and them, and the owner of Bobby Mackey's was sitting there telling Jason Hughes that he had other ghost hunting shows in there, and they had chose to hype it up like bigger than what it actually was. And he was talking about Zach and them because they had come back like 3 different times to Bobby Mackey's, and then Taps was in there after them, and the owner was like, "Yeah, they made it out to be they hyped it up to where, it was more not what they were putting it out there to be."
So more likely, some of it was true and some of it was fake.
There was one that we watched as well the other night. It was a documentary, and it was when Zach first started with doing his ghost hunts and that. And I forget what place it was, but it was up in what's the city? Forget the frickin' city name. But anyway, it was like an old hotel or whatever.
The Gold.
I think that was when they did the WashU.
Might have been the WashU Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was up in Arkansas or something, or Missouri.
Yeah, I think I think the Washoe Club's Missouri, I think. I want to say Missouri.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Goldfield is the one I was thinking about. Yep, Danny. Goldfield is the one where they had the boards that went flying across the room, and they had the Constantinos were there, and they got that EVP saying, "Now we have done it," and it was clear as a bell.
Yeah, Goldfield, Nevada. Yeah.
Yeah, and then a few years later, the Constantinos, well, they tragically died. Well, we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. But like even the brick flying and that, they couldn't make like a jitter or anything in the video.
Hey, I think we got Lunatic Mom.
Lunatic Mama's in the house.
Hey, Lunatic Mama.
It only took us an hour working with Hangouts to get you up there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because I actually had to install this on my phone.
Aww.
Because the computer didn't work, so I'm like going crazy right here.
Yeah. It's good to have you.
Well, thank you for having me.
No problem.
No, we do have a couple of questions before you start telling some stories. How in the world do you keep Dad in line?
Good question. I want to know too.
And honestly, Dad ain't even the worst half. I mean, like Kyle. Oh my God, he's so much like my son. It's unbelievable.
Well, you know, I had years of practice because, you know, there is 8 of them, and then my husband.
Yeah. So you and Dad have all boys, right?
No, we have 6 boys and 2 girls.
Well, that's why Dad's a lunatic right there. 2 girls.
Yep.
No, I got 2 girls.
Actually, believe it or not, the girls not the problem. The boys are.
No, that's what drives you crazy. It's all the boys coming around for the girls. That's what makes you a lunatic.
No, the boys going, all these girls are going crazy and driving me nuts because unfortunately the boys were taught that you never disrespect a woman and everything else. So now all these women walking all over them.
Right. I know Dad would have a shotgun in his truck right now.
Well, yeah, he kind of sometimes, you know, pays attention to it and he reminds them all like, hey, you know what? Let me go just clean up this thing for a bit.
Yeah.
So how you guys been?
Really good.
I've been hanging out with Lunatic Dad too much. I'm starting to leave the line a little bit. But
yeah. I can see that. A lot of people say that when they hang out with him, then they like, oh, well,
but
that didn't work out well.
Speaking of Lunatic Dad, there's Lunatic Dad in the chat.
Yeah, that's lunatic.
Yeah.
You're going to hear us talking about him. He's going to be in that truck going, if you want me to come up on panel and put a foot in Ghost Mafia's ass, give me a hell yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what he's going to do. Exactly. Believe me. He already called me and asking me, did I join you guys? And I'm like, hold on a minute. Let me, breathe for a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. This is the first time ever that I actually kind of tried to get these hangouts and all that because, see, he's kind of on that side. I'm more of a side that with all the kids with the Snapchats and the Instagram and all that, try to keep track of them. So
see, now you're up on panel and he's down in the chat. So anything you want to say and you want to dig in or anything, now's your chance.
Right.
He's already warned you there, Ghost Mafia.
I know.
He's probably listening and probably saying, oh, don't you say nothing about me.
Come on, he's got some secrets. Spill them.
Probably, I wouldn't doubt it, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do.
Exactly.
Oh, look at Lunatic Dad and down.
Oh no, he's kissing up. He's kissing up so he won't get in trouble.
kissing your butt. That's what's happening.
Well, I actually know how much I can say and what can I say so I don't get in trouble, and then he can get in trouble.
Oh, wait a minute. Lunatic Dad just said that he cross dresses.
Oh, good God!
I'm gonna bet that like Kyle or somebody is on the Lunatic Dad account too and typing that in.
I guarantee.
I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, probably one of them is saying stuff. I wouldn't doubt it because that's what they normally do.
Kyle.
Lunatic
Him and Kyle are hilarious.
Taken over by Kyle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us one of these stories. I hear you got some really great like ghost stories or experiences to share.
Well, I actually do have an experience that I can share with. Sometimes people don't believe me, but it is actually true. I almost died when I was 15 years old.
Okay.
Carbon monoxide, and that was actually in Poland. We live in mountains. So me and my sister, we were sleeping in one of the rooms, and we basically, because see, I don't smoke cigarettes or nothing, but my sister does. So since she was young, so she was able to, I guess, breathe longer or to be awakened a little bit longer. That she was trying to wake me up and everything else. She knew that something was going wrong, but then she passed out too. And then my other sister that she lived with her family, and because we had two homes kind of connected together.
Mm-hmm.
So she lived with her family in there, and then it was like 7 a.m, and she was like wondering why aren't we not up, because I was supposed to go to school, but to get to a bus I would have to walk for an hour to get to a bus, because in the winter the buses wouldn't come to our house. So she would come in, and she's seen my sister, my older sister. She was laying on the floor by the door because she was trying to get out, but she passed out at the door. And I apparently was laying on the bed and all vomit all over myself and everything, and I wasn't breathing. But yeah, so her husband actually came and picked me up. So he said that I was actually stiff like a log. And he brought me into the other house. So they put me on the floor, and they were working on like giving me CPR and everything else. So they were working on me from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. that I actually came through. And in that experience that I went through, I've seen the most beautiful sun that I haven't came account yet to see, and the beautiful like I'm not sure how to even explain, like the sound of music that I've never seen and heard ever yet. So I'm thinking that maybe this is for me to, when I actually die, that I'm not going to come back, that I'm going to actually see that. But yes, that was a very, very scary, because my cousin actually, because we were going to school together, and she actually passed our house that we lived, because she woke up late. She was going by, and she said she turned around because she's like, maybe I should have waken her up. She turned around, and she's seen a light blink in that room when I was sleeping twice. And she turned around and came back home. And when she came to the house to see, she's like, oh my God, I knew something went wrong. That's why I didn't go to school. And they like, well, we trying to get her back. So eventually I was back.
Yeah.
And that was the sister that had passed out the doorway that got up and like came back, or?
No, because I have a big family. So the sister that fainted, they woke her up, like they kind of get her quicker, because like she was laying by the door on the floor.
Right.
So she was getting air from outside. So she was kind of like, she just fainted. But because I was still on the bed, so I got all the carbon monoxide, and then I vomit all like black stuff or whatever. So I remember that when I actually woke up, I remember puking all over myself like a charcoal, basically. Yeah. So yeah, it scared me. But for some reason, since then, it's sometimes I scare myself. I do see things, I do feel things, and I can kind of see ahead of myself that I know what can happen, and I don't like that.
Like a
And
deja vu kind of.
yes, kind of things that I can feel that
Y-
something wrong is going to happen.
you have premonitions like I do.
Well, I don't understand none of that because it's been happening since that time that I almost died. And actually, 2 days ago, because my husband works nights, so I sleep alone. And it was like about maybe 2, 3 in the morning. I'm not sure because without my glasses, I can't see what time it is. So I couldn't put my glasses on. But I felt somebody in my room, that somebody walked in my room, and I didn't hear the door open. I didn't see the door open, but somebody came in and stood by my bed and touched my foot. Then I put my light on on the nightstand, and I looked, and I'm like, well, the door is closed, and nobody's here. Who touched my foot? But I felt somebody in the room. And I already told my family and I told all my kids that I'm freaking out because normally when things like that happen, that I just don't want to even talk about it because it kind of scares me and I don't want it to nothing bad happen. But it's leading on to something happening that I'm going to find out.
Right.
Something happened. And I'm worried because I do have a lot of kids and my family and everything else. So my nieces, my nephews, my sisters, and I still worry about them. And I'm really worried because even when we moved into the new home that we live in now, I actually felt my mom because my mom passed. And I was kind of worried a little bit and everything else. And I felt my mom sitting next to me on a bed. And I've seen a dent in my bed, but there was no one there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I knew that was my mom because it made me feel so good. Like she kind of comfort me. Like she said, everything will be okay because I was kind of freaking out because I don't work. I'm on disability. My husband only works. The kids were still little. So I was like, how can we afford this home? So I felt that she came in to tell me that everything's going to be okay.
I think so too. I think she was definitely reaching out to try to ease your mind a little bit
Yes.
in your time of need, and
And that's why
That's
I try to, sometimes I don't want to tell my family everything, what I feel and what I see, kind of. And I do have dreams also that the other day, my daughter, I asked her a point blank question, and she looked at me and she said, how do you know that, Mom? I'm like, well, because I've seen that in my dream. And she's like, no, it's impossible you could seen that because I'm the only one who knows that. And I'm like, yes, but I've seen that.
What?
And
See, that's
she didn't have a choice but to tell me that yes, that it happened.
that's what I try and tell people all the time. Lunatic Mom is that not all spirits are evil. You know, a
Right?
lot of
No,
people think it's a spirit, it's evil. It's not.
no,
Not
no.
necessarily.
Spirits are not evil. And when my brother died, I actually knew that he died.
Yeah.
Larry
So
Jr.
it's
says, "Guys, who put a quarter in Mom?" She's like, "My dad just keeps on talking." LOL.
yes, I like to talk too much, but I actually that part I actually got scared very bad because I woke up and like I really didn't know that if I was even sleeping or nothing. I've seen my brother standing in my room and he was actually dressed and one of the suits that he was for my daughter's baptismal. And at that time my daughter was already almost
Yeah.
9 years old, and when she was baptized, she was 2 months old. And I've seen him and I asked him, what are you doing here? And he said, no, nothing. I just want to say, how you feeling? How you doing? And I'll be gone in a minute. And then after that, a phone rang. When I answered the phone, my cousin called me and said, you know what? I just want to let you know your brother died. And I told her, I know. and she didn't know what to say to me.
Yep.
Wow.
Because
Happened between me and my sister when my stepdad passed away. She called me up. She said, "Well, I got some bad news for you." I said, "I already know. He passed away 7:00 this morning." She said, "How'd you know?" I said, "I just know."
that's what I'm saying. Like I just felt it, and like for some reason he just wanted to say that everything's gonna be okay, and he's just gonna go. And then after that, my cousin called me and said, "You know, your brother died." I'm like, "I know."
Yep. And
So
it's not like with me and my sister. She's only my half sister, but we've lived together growing up all our lives. So we was always close to a certain extent. And it's just that family tie when you're that close to your folks and your sister and your siblings or whatever. You always just know when something's going on. You
right,
get that feeling, you're like, man, you get that aching feeling. It says, I need to reach out to somebody and find out what's going on, because you got that kind of, man, I haven't heard from this person in a while. Maybe I should call them,
right.
but it nags at you for a while, because you don't do it right away. And that's, sometimes that's the problem, is you don't do it right away. And by the time you get around to doing it, it's too late and you find out bad news,
Right, right. Yes, but I do believe that, like people say, oh, they are scared of dead people and this and that. No. I told them, I said, no, you're supposed to be scared of the ones that they are alive because they are the bad people. But the one that passed, they are the ones that want to help you.
Yeah. You're not kidding.
Yes,
That is
I do
so
believe
true.
that strongly. They do look out for us and everything. I do believe strongly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever heard Lunatic Dad tell you any stories from on the road that you could share?
Well, actually, one time he really came home very scared, like he really was panicking and he didn't even know what to say, what to do, what to believe. He was actually coming home from work because he pretty much worked all his life nights. So he would come home like 2, 3 in the morning, 5, 6, whatever. But at that time, it was around maybe 3, 4 in the morning. There was still dark outside. He came home and he couldn't even talk. And he was smoking one cigarette after another. And I'm like, what's going on? What happened? Because I thought he got into an accident or something happened. And he's like, you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you because I cannot believe. I don't know what happened. And I really don't know how to take this or how to believe in this. But I've seen my brother in my car. I'm like, how did you see your brother in your car when, you would have to pick him up? And he's like, no, you don't understand. That's the point, that I've seen my brother that passed almost 20 years ago, that he sat in the car with him.
Wow.
Yes. And he really got freaked out. And I told him, I said, okay, then why are you scared? He was just trying to probably tell you that everything's going to be okay. And he want to see you to get home okay.
Yeah.
So that was one of those things. And then,
Okay, Paranormal Mama. She has to get to bed, leave soon. Thanks for letting her be a guest. You can unmute your mic and say goodbye to everybody if you'd like. I mean, is she still here or did she leave?
Yeah, I just wanted to say goodnight to everybody, and thanks for having me on, Brian and Ghost Mafia. It was much appreciated. Thank
No
you.
problem,
Oh, no
Paranormal Mama. Anytime.
problem.
good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, Paranormal Mama.
Bye. So what did you guys
Frantic has talked to
experience?
his brother through my spirit box.
Huh?
What have I experienced? I started doing the whole ghost hunting bit like pretty much right out of high school. In the place where I wanted to go check it out. And
Yeah.
once the 90s hit and all the ghosts up and things like that, I started getting the gadgets and I started actually doing the ghost hunting and things like that. And I've been to some really interesting places. I mean, a lot, really, everywhere from like Lansing, Michigan to, you know, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
My goodness.
All kinds of places. I've been over to Prospect Place. You know, 2:00 in the morning, I'm out in the barn where they hung the bounty hunter and all that stuff. I mean, I've been a lot of different places, and there's none that really stand out to me. I've gotten a lot more activity from the places that weren't popular than the places that were popular from being on the shows and things like that. So it's like, you know, private residences people has had me come to and check out. I've gotten more activity at like private residences than, say, you know, the West Virginia State Penitentiary.
Wow.
Not to say that, you know, West Virginia State Penitentiary isn't haunted, and they have caught evidence of things going on there. It's just that when I was there, I might not have gotten anything substantial, you know?
Yeah.
So no one particular thing has stood out. I mean, I did a house in Fulton area of Wheeling, West Virginia that got, they call them rods. Okay. And they showed up on camera. And the best thing I could do to explain them is like if a bug flies through a camera, it looks like it's a long flying insect when it comes out on camera.
Oh.
Aren't you ever afraid of bringing
I had to
something
write it
home
off
with
as
you?
that. Well, have I ever taken anything home with me?
Yeah, like
We was out in the Coshocton, out in the state game land. The story is that and somebody was hung for witchcraft, and the person that was hung for witchcraft put a curse on the town. The town starts declining. Cut the witch's head off a cemetery down the hill. And this is the story. You don't know if it's true or not, but you know, we want the cemetery is like way in the state game lands area. And we're out there, you know, we're waiting for sundown just to amp things up a little bit. And you know, we're waiting around and we're waiting around and we're waiting around. And we dished out there and we took tons of photos and tons of video and tons of digital recordings. And we start heading for home. And it's probably 2:00 in the morning before we start heading home from Coshocton. And we get down the highway and everybody that's in the vehicle is going, man, I got this really uneasy feeling. It's like something's about to happen. Something's about to happen. About that time, right rear tire blew out and our ass end is all over the road, and we get it off the road and we got a blowout. And
Wow.
so we got out, we changed the tire, and we got everybody in a circle and said a prayer. And after we said a prayer and got back in the car, everybody's like, yeah, the air has really changed now. It's like that feeling of dread is gone. Like everybody felt it when we was going down the road. We knew something was about to happen. And it did. We had that tire blowout and we was all over the place.
Wow.
yeah,
I would
I've been
think
hearing.
I would think that we took something home from that cemetery that night, or
Yeah.
at least part of the way home.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of stories about that where these ghost hunters go and they bring home stuff they don't want, you know what I mean, and it affects their whole family, and that's kind of scary. I wouldn't mind doing it, but I'm scared something like that would happen to me, and I believe in God and all that, and you know, but when the devil wants to take a hold of you, there's no saving you until you get an exorcist done.
Right. Uber Goober lady's in the chat. What's up, lady?
So is
You
I
ever say
mentioned
a
them.
closing prayer before you leave, Ghost? You know, after that experience, but then we didn't, and we paid for it, and we learned our lesson that night. And ever since then, we do. In fact, I got my prayer card right here. Carry it with us.
What did it say?
What, the prayer card? Oh,
Yeah.
it's the St. Michael's prayer.
Oh,
You can pick them up at the Catholic churches.
Yeah.
They give them away for free. And just keep it with you. Keep it in your wallet. Memorize it, whatnot. And it helps. It does.
so we've got
anytime you go into a situation like that where you don't know how true the history might be, or you just don't know about the situation or what the history that went on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it no matter what. You know, it cannot hurt either way.
Yeah. We've got one of Mama's sons in here too.
What is it?
We got one of Mama's sons in here. Accident.
Uber lady says you should save yourself also if you can before you leave.
Yeah. Oh, we got Lawrence in here and them. They're all fighting in the chat now.
Oh, I see it says, "Shut up, David. I'm her favorite."
Yep.
Would you guys ever go to the Exorcist house? The true Exorcist? Where it happened?
I would.
I'd investigate it.
Yeah. I would.
And you guys wouldn't be afraid that something demonic was attached to you or anything like that?
Nope.
You know, that the actual true Exorcist house, I forget where I want to say it's in Ohio someplace. Actually.
I want it too.
Yeah. But
yeah, there's a lot of places in Iowa here. It's they got haunted places here too in Iowa. And one of Zach Bagan went to one of this old school. It was in Iowa here. I forgot the name of the town, but it's way out. And I guess there was a lot of kids got slaughtered in there or something like that. And there's a lot of history. They were talking about that. There's a lot of history of paranormal stuff was going on in there. A lot of growls, a lot of weird noises in there and all that. And when they said Iowa, I said, "Wow, I wonder how far that would be." Because I wouldn't mind if it was like in my town here, somewhere around here.
Is that like the Valencia axe murder house you're talking about, or?
I think so, but I'm not sure. I think it was a school.
Oh, okay.
It was an old school, and they had another one that's way out in Des Moines there, past Des Moines, and it's an old hospital where it was like from the Civil War there, where all these people died in there, and they had
Francis was saying about the Valencia axe murder house too. Yeah, that's a famous one out in your area.
Yep. I guess a lot of them went to that Lizzie Borden's house there too.
Yeah, quite a few people have went there and got a lot of activity, I heard. And
Omar and Fam went over there.
Yeah.
I seen that.
Yeah,
and they've been
breakfast. Anybody can go up there and stay in the room where the mother died.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't know what it costs to go there, but one of these days I might go.
Oh yeah, it'd be fun. I'd go too. We'd have a blast in there.
Boomer says, in the complex I live in, there has been 2 murders and a suicide in the last 9 years that he's been there.
Oh, wow.
That's New York for you.
Yeah.
Thank God I moved out of there. It's expensive to live there.
You seen that too?
Yeah. Shut up, Lawrence, before I beat you with an ugly stick. Wait, damn it, it was done already.
Much love, bro.
You know what we're going to have to do? We're going to have to get like all lunatic dads, crazy kids on one panel and let them roast each other one night.
That'll be real epic.
Oh my God. No, you don't want to do that.
And lunatic dad at the same time.
No.
Yeah. We'll get
the whole family up there.
Yeah, we'll get the brothers and lunatic dad on the panel, and they can do a takeover, whichever channel, and they can just
they
roast
already
each
have
other.
enough. You should guys already have them enough on those videos because pretty much most of them have been there.
Yeah, see, JoJo just said it. Get them all on my takeover. We got to do it.
Oh my God.
I feel sorry for lunatic.
Somebody says, Mom, tell them about the flying CDs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
that was when we moved in here to the new home, like I said. It was around the same time when I felt that my mom came into my room. My daughters, they were trying to set themselves up in their room and everything else, and they had their own radio, and they were trying to listen to their music and everything else, but they didn't take all their CDs out yet out of the box, so they just set the little box on a dresser. And then they were doing stuff, putting their stuff away, and all of a sudden, all of those CDs, like somebody just took them and threw them across the room.
Wow.
Yes, and they ran out of the room. Mom, I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my gosh, those CDs. I'm like, what did you guys do? Did you break it? No, we didn't break it. They all fell. How did they fall? Where did you put them? We didn't touch them. We were on the other side of the room putting our clothes away, and they all just went across the room.
Wow.
Yes.
He says,
that was crazy. Yes, that is true. Because till this day, they constantly, and especially around Halloween, because they love to watch all these movies, and we watch always, the whole October, we watch scary movies and especially about ghosts and everything. So they constantly, do you remember when the CDs flied out? And we're like, okay, stop talking about it. Because that's the only thing that it still scares them to this day.
Yeah.
That they don't understand why and what had happened.
That would scare me too, kind of. You don't know what really went on, and then it just happens out of nowhere.
Right, because they were actually 12, 13 years old. So then, like I said, they were just putting their stuff away and minding their own business and okay, maybe we can put this here, maybe do this, and kind of laughing around. And all of a sudden, the whole box of CDs.
Wow, gone. Flying in the air.
And one time, actually, I kind of scared my oldest son that he doesn't live at home. He lives on his own. But when we used to live in another home and closer to Chicago, and we lived close by cemetery. So they have a story about Resurrection Mary. I'm not sure if you guys ever heard about that.
Yep, I have actually seen documentaries on it too.
Yes. So that's where we lived, by that cemetery.
Wow.
My family's buried there. My mom, my brother, my dad, my uncle. Yes. And so they were teenagers, him and his friend. They were about 15, 16 years old. And they right around Halloween. Oh, who's ready to go to the cemetery? Who's ready to go to the cemetery at midnight? Because we're going to see Resurrection Mary. So I'm like, okay. Do you guys want to?
Which one is Resurrection Mary?
Well, because there was a girl that was actually, they had a homecoming dance.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
this is the one that leaves the cemetery and gets into people's cars and that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I have heard of that. Yeah.
Yes. And believe it or not, the gate is still there. They haven't changed the gate to the cemetery. And you can see handprints burned into the rails. Yes. So they were trying to scare each other and everything else. And they were like, okay, we're going to go. We're going to go. So they were waiting and waiting and waiting. And they all fall asleep before midnight. So then they woke up around 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was just watching TV. And they're like, oh my gosh, we didn't go to the cemetery. And I told them, I said, I went.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my gosh, Mom, did you go? Did you go? I'm like, yes, I did. So what did you see? I'm like, I've seen Resurrection Mary. So what did you do? I asked her, why is she walking around? Why isn't she in peace and everything else? And they were so freaking out. So I scared them basically. But no, I didn't go to the cemetery. But when I was a kid, when I was about, I would say maybe 8, 9 years old, me and my sister and my cousin and my friend, we actually went to the cemetery.
Yeah.
And we really got spooked because actually someone died that the, grave taker was actually preparing for the next day service and everything else. So it was already dark and everything else. So we didn't know that. And he didn't know that we walked in there. So we kind of scared each other.
Yeah.
So the person realized that we were kids, and then he actually started chasing us. But I said, well, I'm not afraid. I actually love to go to the cemetery. It's so peaceful and everything. I do love to go there. And everybody's like, no, why would you go to the cemetery? I'm like, because that's the most peaceful place that I want it to be. Nobody's going to do nothing to you. If you're going to say, oh, I'm going to the park, you have to be worried what's going to happen there. You want to go to the restaurant, you want to go to the museum, you want to go anywhere, you always have to be on a guard what's going to happen. And there, nothing's going to happen. It's so peaceful.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my biggest downfall of me going to the cemetery, I have to step away from where the headstones is because I'm afraid to walk on top of their body. Oh, sorry. I keep saying, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's what I do. I actually kind of figured out my path, how I walk, because I kind of measured it how long, the grave can be. So I'm always walking between, and everybody's like, why are you walk like that? I'm like, because I don't want to step on them. Who are you stepping on? I'm like, well, the dead people, can't you see? There's their stone, but then there's their body. You cannot walk on them, so walk around it.
Because I feel like I'm disrespecting them by walking on top of them.
Yes.
And my wife always says, when I go to visit with her, go over to her dad and mom grave, I keep saying, sorry, I'm sorry. She said, what the hell are you talking about? I said, I'm just saying sorry to these people because I'm probably accidentally stepping on them. Oh, stop. I said, no, I'm superstitious like that.
Oh, me too. I'm very superstitious. Very. There cannot be certain things done around the house because I'm very superstitious. They all mad at me when I tried to do that.
My wife says the same. She gets mad at me every time we go to the cemetery. Stop saying that. I said, no, I'm not going to stop saying that.
Yes, that's how I feel too.
I'll walk around them. I won't walk over them.
Nope.
I did a video here not too long ago from the West Virginia State Penitentiary Cemetery. And it's not like a normal cemetery because everybody in there died in prison one way or another, whether it be the hanging, electric chair, killed by an inmate, or natural causes. Everybody that was in that cemetery was sentenced to be in that prison for a reason. And it definitely has, when you walk into a prison cemetery, it definitely has a dark kind of
eerie feeling.
You definitely get the feeling that you're being watched or being, stared at. And the grave markers, there's no stones. It's literally just like, that rail they use for stop signs. It's just a piece of that driven into the ground and a stamped out tin plate with a name and their inmate number on it. And that's it. That's all they have for markers. Once they're sentenced to prison, they have no rights in the United States, and even after death, they still have no rights. If families don't come claim their bodies, they're buried in a prison cemetery, and that's it. Pine box, and you can tell it's old pine box like graves, because the graves are sunken in. After a while, that pine rots away, and it's just sunk in. There's no concrete vaults, no nothing, just pine box in the dirt ground, covered with dirt, and a sign put there for him. That's it.
Wow.
That's sad.
About the only peacefulness they get is the cemetery that I went to was along a creek, and you hear that relaxing water going by the cemetery. That's about the only thing. Of course, then there's a road right next to it, so you got the cars driving by and everything. So,
oh yeah,
like it's definitely an eerie place that gives you a weird feeling when you go into it. And you don't want to go in there after dark, because like when I did the video, I did it in the daytime. I didn't want to go in there and try to make contact with anybody that was in that cemetery, because obviously, if they was evil enough to be sentenced to prison for, whatever they did,
yeah,
the way they're going to be after death, I don't want to take anything like that home. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
they could be demonic.
Do you guys know about Auschwitz?
Auschwitz, yeah. My son was there 2 years ago. He actually made 2 trips there.
Father died there.
Yep.
They're helping Jewish families to go to Czechoslovakia. He was helping them to pass the border, and he was put there. So before I came here, we went there, and like you said, that you can smell and you can feel the presence. Exactly, that's what's happening in there.
Oh yeah. He brought back pictures, and they have like just tons of shoes from the people that were herded into the gas chambers and things like that, and clothing.
They have glasses. That's one room full of glasses. Another room full of prosthetic arms, legs. Another room, all their luggage. Another room, all their stuff that I cannot even imagine. And my grandfather is actually, his first picture is on the wall. So I do understand how you feel, that you can feel the heaviness, the presence, that it's there. I felt it I really cannot even understand after all these years that when you go through that, and they actually have the actual the furnaces that they actually burn people, you can smell that there was something burned there after all these years.
Wow.
Yes,
Auschwitz was no joke. I mean, there's so many movies about it. Yeah, I think the one I watched most recently was like The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, something like that.
Yes, I've seen that one.
And I tell you what, the more you learn about it, the more your mind can just boggle how someone can be so evil to do something, to build a facility that big for the sole purpose to destroying human life.
Yes.
It's wow.
It was very, because actually my grandfather died for basically no reason and left 5 children. The youngest one was 8 months old, and my mom was 15 years old.
Really?
Yes, my mom was the oldest one. She was 15, and then underneath they were 4 other kids. And their mom died within 1 year of a heart attack because she couldn't take it. And actually, the mayor of the village gave him up and pointed him out that he's helping Jewish families.
Wow.
Yep. So they burned him actually in there. So yeah, it's sad, but everybody always asks me, do I hate German people? No, I don't hate German people, because they didn't do nothing.
Wow.
They didn't. I do forgive, I don't forget. And I would want everyone to actually truthfully think about it, how sad that is, that that many people were killed for no reason.
Yep.
So
I do as well.
I still, I'm still, even after all these years, I still reel at the idea that, you know, all these wars are started mainly because of religious beliefs.
yes.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, 9/11 was 400-year-old Muslim religion. You know, World War II, uh, you know, Judaism,
Yes.
just it's crazy.
It's
It's
sad that no one can actually, if somebody, that's what I try to live by. Because see, I came here from Poland, I was 17 years old.
Yep.
When I came here, I didn't see people for how they look, what skin color they were. They were people to me because that's what we were brought up like.
Yeah.
You respect everyone. You show respect and you help others and everything else. That's what we were brought up like. And that's how I raise my children too. So when everybody was like, why are you so friendly? I'm like, no, that's just me. Why wouldn't I? The person didn't do nothing to me. And I actually was confronted one time by a black security guard at my job when I used to work. Because every day when I walked into the building, I would say good evening to him, how is he doing and everything. And one time he told me, why am I so nice to him? I'm like, I'm not trying to disrespect you. I'm just trying to be nice because we actually see each other every day. I pass by you. So I just want to say good evening, you know?
Yeah.
You didn't do nothing wrong to me. And he's like, oh, because you nice to me because I'm black? I'm like, no, I don't see a color. I see a person.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's how I am. I got a heart of gold, and I don't judge anybody. You know,
Me neither.
everybody's my brother and sister. Even if I don't know them, you're all my brothers and sisters. You know, I always say my YouTube brothers and sisters out there, and I even do it out off of YouTube. I do that all the time.
Yes.
My wife said, "Well, you don't even know that person. Why you call him his brother?" I said, "That's how I am." You know,
Yeah.
I can go up to somebody and shake their hand and say, "Hey, how's it going? How's your day been?" You know, and they look at me weird. They say, "Oh, I'm doing good." That's how I am. I'm a good-hearted person.
Yeah.
That's what exactly I do. And that's how we taught our children. And sometimes I kind of feel that because of how we brought them up and how we taught them, sometimes they're being taken advantage of or being like people are mean to them. And I told them, I said, don't take it seriously. You be you because those people are very ignorant.
You know, I tell people, I say, let go one out ear out the other ear. That's how I am. I just let it go. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, I do get
Because,
mad once in a great while, but after a while, I cool down and I say I'm sorry. You know, and make
right.
men. You know, life's too short to fight.
Oh, exactly. Believe me, I do know that firsthand.
Yep.
Because I actually almost died again when I was 21 and I had three of my kids in a car
Yeah.
and I got hit by a drunk driver that I was hit so bad that my car ended up in somebody else's yard.
Wow.
Yes, so I kind of went through a lot of stuff, and like when I had my brain surgery, when I had my thyroid cancer, I really had very close calls, and I have a faith, and I believe in, and I promised myself, and I promised Kyle because when I was diagnosed with brain cancer, then he was 2 years old. And I told him I wanted to see him to be 18 so I know that he's okay, that he's an adult, that he will have a job and he can take care of himself, and then I can die. So he's constantly yelling at me, Mom, don't talk like that. Don't talk like that. I'm like, well, I guess that God has still some kind of work for me here because I'm still here. I made it through the surgery. And I made it through the thyroid cancer, that I'm still here. So I'm still good.
God been on your side.
Yes.
That's good.
I guess my job is not done here yet, I think, because that's what I said. You know, you have a purpose in life. And the purpose is if you still here, then that means you're doing something right and God still wants you around. Still wants you around.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you know I got a call next month? He breathed us, get his shoes on, and he just keeled over and passed away like that. And I had a funny feeling something was going to happen. I didn't want to say nothing to anybody.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I never knew my real dad. I had a stepdad all my life, and he passed away from her. And I'll be up there on Friday.
I guess you can catch spirits' voices and stuff. I had headphones on, and I was playing it, and all of a sudden it said my mother's name, and I just went, "Whoa!" I got scared. I threw the headphones across the room. I said, "That couldn't even say that." So I put it back on. It said it again. My mother's name, my mother's full name, and I think it was my grandmother or my grandfather was trying to get a hold of me and let me know what's going on. So I don't know if it was my mother.
Yeah.
I was